This is Michael Chen, 68 years old, janitor at Lincoln High School in Boston, Massachusetts. Every night, same routine. 10 p.m. he clocks in, empties trash cans, mops hallways, cleans classrooms, works until 6 a.m., then goes home. He's been doing this for 40 years. The students don't notice him. They walk past, drop trash, make messes, never say thank you. To them, he's invisible, just the old janitor. The Chinese guy who barely speaks English. Nobody knows his name. Nobody asks, but Michael doesn't mind. He just does his job. Quietly, efficiently, every night. What nobody knows, Michael has a secret. Between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., when the school is completely empty, Michael goes to room 24/7, the art classroom, turns on one small lamp, takes out brushes, paints, and canvas, and creates masterpieces. For 40 years, Michael Chen has been painting in secret, every single night, 2 hours, no breaks, 847 paintings, all hidden in the basement storage room, stacked, covered, forgotten. Nobody knows they exist. Nobody knows Michael is an artist, because Michael never told anyone. Michael was 28 years old, living in Beijing, China. He wasn't a janitor then. He was an art student, one of the most talented painters at the Central Academy of Fine Arts. His professors called him a prodigy. His paintings were exhibited in galleries. Critics said he would become one of China's greatest artists. Michael's future was bright. Then came 1989, Tiananmen Square protests. Students demanding democracy, demanding freedom. Michael joined them. He painted banners, created art for the movement, stood with thousands in the square, believing in change. June 4th, 1989. The tanks came. The soldiers opened fire. Thousands killed, thousands arrested. Michael watched his friends die, his classmates shot, his professors dragged away. He barely escaped, running through back alleys, hiding in safe houses. Knowing he could never go home, Michael fled China, left everything behind, his family, his art, his future. He made it to Hong Kong, then to America, Boston, 1989. He had nothing, no money, no English, no papers, just the clothes on his back and a few paintbrushes hidden in his bag. The only things he could carry. Michael needed work, any work. He found a job at Lincoln High School, night janitor, $4.50 an hour. It wasn't glamorous, but it was safe. Nobody asked questions, nobody checked his past. He could survive. Michael had been working at the school for 1 year, every night cleaning, alone. The school was quiet at 3 a.m., peaceful. One night, Michael walked past the art classroom, saw the paints, the brushes, the blank canvases. His hands were shaking. He missed painting, more than anything. He hadn't touched a brush in over a year. Michael looked around. Nobody was there. He went inside, picked up a brush, just to feel it again. Then he saw a small canvas, blank, waiting. He couldn't help himself. He started painting, just for a few minutes. A landscape, mountains, sky, freedom. 2 hours passed. Michael stepped back, looked at what he'd created. It was beautiful, the best thing he'd painted since Beijing. For the first time in over a year, Michael felt alive. But then panic set in. What if someone saw? What if they asked questions? What if they found out about his past? Michael quickly cleaned up, hid the painting behind a cabinet, and went back to work. He told himself it was a one-time thing. But the next night, he came back, and the night after that, and every night for 40 years, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., Michael's time, his secret studio. He painted everything, landscapes, portraits, abstract pieces. He painted Tiananmen Square, the tanks, the students, the blood. He painted his family in China, his mother, his father, people he'd never see again. He painted America, Boston, the subway, the streets, his tiny apartment. He painted loneliness, survival, hope, loss. Every emotion he couldn't express in words, he put on canvas. 847 paintings over 40 years. Michael finished each one, signed it with his initials, MC, then carried it down to the basement storage room, stacked it with the others, covered them with tarps, and went back to work. Nobody ever looked in that storage room. Nobody cared. It was just old desks and broken equipment, the perfect hiding place. Michael never showed anyone his work, never told anyone he was an artist. The students thought he was just a janitor. The teachers barely acknowledged him. The principal knew his name, but nothing else. Michael was invisible, and he preferred it that way, because being invisible meant being safe. No questions, no attention, no risk. But Michael was okay with that, because he had his art, 2 hours every night. That was enough. He didn't need recognition, didn't need money, didn't need fame. He just needed to paint, to create, To feel human. October 15th, 2024, Tuesday night, 2:17 a.m. Michael was cleaning the hallways, 3rd floor, near the art classroom. He heard a noise. Someone was in the building. Michael's heart raced. Nobody was supposed to be here. Was it a break-in? A security guard? He walked quietly toward the art room, saw a light on. The door was open. Someone was inside. Michael peeked in. It was Emma Rodriguez, the new art teacher, 32 years old, started teaching at Lincoln High 2 months ago. She was gathering papers from her desk, must have forgotten something. Michael started to turn away, go back to work, but then Emma saw him. "Oh, hi, you scared me. I'm sorry, I left my laptop. I'll be quick." Michael nodded, started to leave, but Emma called out, "Wait, you're Michael, right? The night janitor?" Michael stopped, surprised. Nobody ever asked his name. "Yes, Michael." Emma smiled. "I'm Emma, the art teacher. Nice to meet you." Michael nodded again, turned to leave, but Emma kept talking. "Do you ever look at the student artwork? Some of them are really talented." Michael glanced at the walls. Student paintings. Decent, but basic. Emma noticed his expression. "You don't think they're good?" Michael hesitated. "They try hard." Emma laughed. "That's a polite way of saying they're not great. You're right, most of them are still learning." Then Emma asked something nobody had ever asked Michael before. "Do you like art?" Michael froze. Such a simple question, but it hit him hard. Did he like art? Art was his life, his soul, the only thing that kept him alive. But he couldn't say that, so he just nodded. "Yes, I like." Emma smiled. "Me too. That's why I became a teacher. I want to help kids discover their creativity." She paused. "Do you paint?" Michael's heart stopped. How did she know? Did she see something? Was his secret out? He shook his head quickly. "No, I clean. That's all." Emma looked at him. Something in his eyes, something sad, but she didn't push. "Okay, well, if you ever want to try, you're welcome to use the supplies. After hours. I don't mind." Michael didn't know what to say. He just nodded and left. That night, Michael couldn't paint. His hands were shaking. Someone had noticed him, asked about him, seen him. It scared him. For 40 years he'd been invisible, safe. Now someone was looking. But over the next week, Emma kept talking to him. Every time she saw him. "Hi, Michael. How are you?" "Good night, Michael." "Have a great evening, Michael." Small talk. Nothing deep. But it was something. Someone seeing him, acknowledging him. It felt strange, but also nice. November 3rd, 2024, Saturday night, 2:48 a.m. Michael was in the art room, painting, a portrait of his mother. He hadn't seen her in 35 years, didn't even know if she was still alive, but he remembered her face, every detail. He was lost in the work, focused, didn't hear the door open. "Oh my God," Michael spun around, dropped his brush. Emma was standing in the doorway, staring at the painting, her mouth open, eyes wide. Michael panicked. "I'm sorry, I clean up, I go now." He started gathering his supplies, hands shaking. This was it. He'd be fired, arrested, deported. But Emma didn't move. She walked closer, slowly, looking at the painting. "Michael, this is incredible." Michael stopped. "I'm sorry. Don't apologize. This is beautiful. Did you paint this?" Michael didn't know what to say. Finally, he nodded. "Yes." Emma looked at him, really looked at him. "How long have you been painting?" Michael hesitated. "Long time." "How long?" 40 years. Emma's eyes widened. 40 years? Here? In this room? Michael nodded. Emma looked around, saw the brushes, the paints, the small lamp. "You've been painting here, every night, for 40 years, and nobody knew?" Michael's voice was quiet. Nobody asked. Emma was silent, processing. Then she asked, "Do you have other paintings?" Michael looked at her, trying to decide, trust or run. After a long moment, he made a choice. "Yes, I show you." Michael led Emma down to the basement, through dark hallways, past storage rooms, to a corner in the back, covered with tarps. He pulled back the tarp, revealed stacks and stacks of paintings, hundreds of them. Emma gasped. "How many are there?" 2,847. Emma couldn't breathe. She started looking through them, one by one. Landscapes, portraits, abstract pieces, political pieces, each one more beautiful than the last. Tears were streaming down her face. "Michael, these are masterpieces, every single one." Michael just stood there, quiet, watching her react. Emma turned to him. "Why? Why did you hide these? Why didn't you show anyone?" Michael's answer was simple. "Nobody would care. I am just janitor." Emma shook her head. "No, you're not just a janitor. You're an artist, a brilliant artist. These belong in museums, In galleries. The world needs to see these. Michael looked scared. No, please, cannot tell. I lose job. They ask questions. Emma grabbed his hands. Michael, I don't know what you're running from. I don't know what you're afraid of. But these paintings, they're important. They deserve to be seen. You deserve to be seen. Michael started crying. For the first time in 35 years, he told Emma everything about Beijing, about Tiananmen Square, about fleeing, about being invisible, about painting in secret, about the fear, the loneliness, the need to create. Emma listened, didn't interrupt, just held his hand. When he finished, she spoke. Michael, you don't have to hide anymore. Things have changed. You're safe here. Let me help you, please. Michael looked at his paintings, 40 years of his life, hidden, forgotten. Maybe it was time. He nodded. 1 week later, Emma contacted Marcus Sullivan, owner of Sullivan Gallery in downtown Boston, one of the most prestigious contemporary art galleries in New England. She sent him photos, just 5 paintings, no context, no name, just the art. Marcus called her within an hour. Who painted these? Emma smiled. Come to Lincoln High School tonight, 11 p.m. I'll show you. Marcus showed up, skeptical, curious. Emma led him to the basement, showed him the 2,847 paintings. Marcus didn't speak for 20 minutes, just looked, studied, analyzed. Finally, he turned to Emma. Who is the artist? Emma called Michael over. This is Michael Chen. He's been the night janitor here for 40 years. He painted all of these, in secret, at night. Marcus stared at Michael, then back at the paintings, then at Michael again. You're Michael Chen? The Michael Chen? The Michael Chen? Michael looked confused. I don't understand. Marcus pulled out his phone, showed Michael an article from 1988, rising star of Chinese contemporary art, Michael Chen. Michael's hands shook. How you have this? Marcus explained. I studied Chinese contemporary art in graduate school. You were legendary. We all thought you died in Tiananmen Square. Your work disappeared. We thought it was lost forever. Michael sat down. Couldn't stand. You know my work? Marcus nodded. Every serious art collector knows your name. You were supposed to be one of the greatest Chinese artists of our generation. And then you vanished. He looked at the paintings. But you didn't stop. You kept creating. For 40 years. Marcus turned to Michael. I want to exhibit these. All of them. The biggest show Sullivan Gallery has ever done. Michael was terrified. But police, immigration, China. Marcus shook his head. Michael, it's 2024. Things have changed. You've been in America for 35 years. You're not in danger anymore. And your art, the world needs to see this. Emma squeezed Michael's hand. You don't have to be invisible anymore. Michael looked at his paintings, his life's work, hidden for so long. Maybe it was time to step into the light. He nodded. Okay. December 14th, 2024. Opening night. Sullivan Gallery, downtown Boston. The exhibit, The Invisible Artist, 40 years of Michael Chen. All 2,847 paintings, displayed across 3 floors, the largest solo exhibition in the gallery's history. The art world showed up. Critics, collectors, curators, museums, press, everyone. They'd heard the rumors. The legendary Michael Chen, alive and still creating. The gallery was packed, over 500 people. Michael stood in the corner, overwhelmed, wearing a simple suit Emma had bought him, watching strangers study his work, his life, his pain, his hope, all on display. One critic stood in front of the Tiananmen series, paintings of tanks, students, blood, freedom. She was crying. This is the most powerful political art I've ever seen. A collector studied Michael's landscapes, the technique, the emotion. It's like looking into someone's soul. A curator from the Museum of Fine Arts approached Michael. Mr. Chen, we'd like to acquire several pieces for our permanent collection. Michael couldn't process it. For 40 years, nobody saw his work. Now hundreds of people were fighting to own it. But the most important moment came at 8:47 p.m. An elderly Chinese woman approached Michael. She was crying. Michael Chen? Michael looked at her, didn't recognize her. Yes, she grabbed his hands. It's me, Li Wei, from the academy. We were in the same class. I thought you were dead. Michael's eyes filled with tears. Li Wei. They embraced, sobbing. Li Wei told him what happened after he fled, how the government cracked down, how many of their classmates were imprisoned, killed, how she eventually made it to America too, how she'd been searching for Michael for years. I never thought I'd see you again, but your art brought us back together. By the end of the night, every single painting had a buyer. Every one. 2,847 paintings. Total value, $14.2 million. Michael was a millionaire overnight. The press went crazy. Janitor becomes millionaire artist. Hidden masterpieces found in school basement. The invisible artist of Lincoln High. The story went viral. TikTok, Instagram, CNN, BBC, everyone covered it. But Michael didn't care about the money. He donated $12 million to 3 causes. $4 million to Tiananmen Square Memorial Foundations, $4 million to immigrant support organizations, $4 million to arts education programs for underprivileged students. He kept $2 million, bought a small apartment, simple, comfortable, and set up a studio, a real studio, with windows, light, space. But here's the thing, Michael didn't quit his job at Lincoln High. He still clocks in, 10 p.m. every night, still empties trash cans, still mops hallways. The principal tried to stop him. "Michael, you're a famous artist now. You don't need to work here anymore." Michael smiled. "I know, but I like it. The school is my home. The students are my family, even if they don't know me." Now Michael does something different. After he finishes cleaning, he goes to room 247, the art classroom. But he's not alone anymore. He invited Emma to paint with him, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., teacher and artist, creating together. And once a month, Michael holds midnight art sessions for any student who wants to come. Late at night, free pizza, free supplies. Michael teaches them, shares his story, shows them that art isn't about fame or money. It's about expression, survival, truth. The students who used to ignore him now line up to learn from him. "Mr. Chen, can you teach me your technique?" "Mr. Chen, how do you choose your colors?" "Mr. Chen, tell us about Tiananmen Square." Michael answers every question, patient, kind, generous, giving these kids what he never had: recognition, encouragement, belief. March 2025, Lincoln High renamed the art classroom the Michael Chen Art Studio. A plaque on the door. For 40 years, Michael Chen created beauty in secret. Now his art inspires the world. This room honors the invisible artist who never stopped believing in the power of creativity. At the ceremony, Emma gave a speech. "Michael taught me something important. We walk past people every day. Janitors, cashiers, security guards. We don't see them. We don't ask their names. We don't know their stories. But everyone has a story. Everyone has a gift." Michael was invisible for 40 years, not because he chose to be, but because we chose not to see him. Let this be a reminder. See people, ask their names, listen to their stories. You never know who you're standing next to. The students gave Michael a standing ovation. Some were crying. These kids who used to drop trash at his feet were now applauding the man who cleaned it up. Michael stood at the podium, looked at the room full of faces, and spoke in his quiet, accented English. "Thank you for seeing me. For 40 years I was invisible, but I was okay, because I had my art. Art saved my life. After Tiananmen Square, after losing everything, art was the only thing that kept me alive. I painted because I had to, not for money, not for fame, but to survive. I tell you this because many of you feel invisible too. You feel like nobody sees you, nobody cares, but you matter. Your voice matters. Your art matters. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for recognition. Create anyway, paint anyway, write anyway, sing anyway, because art is not about being seen. Art is about being alive. Today, Michael Chen is 68 years old. He still works as a night janitor at Lincoln High School. By choice, still cleans hallways, still empties trash, still says hello to students who barely notice. But now, a few times a week, he also teaches, paints, shares his story, inspires. His artwork hangs in museums around the world. The Museum of Fine Arts Boston, the Smithsonian, the Tate Modern. Critics call him one of the most important political artists of our time. But Michael doesn't care about titles. He just paints. And every year, on June 4th, the anniversary of Tiananmen Square, Michael creates one painting to honor those who died, those who fought for freedom, those who never got to tell their stories. He donates that painting to museums, free, so people remember, so they never forget. Emma is still his friend, his collaborator, his champion. She quit her job at Lincoln High, became Michael's full-time manager, helps him navigate the art world, organizes exhibitions, protects his legacy. But every Tuesday night, 3 a.m., they meet in room 247 and paint together, teacher and artist, friend and friend. This is the story of Michael Chen, the invisible janitor who became a visible artist, the man who painted in secret for 40 years, who survived war, exile, and loneliness, who created 2,847 masterpieces in the dark, and who finally stepped into the light, not because he wanted fame, but because one person saw him, one person asked his name, one person believed his story mattered. Sometimes all it takes is one person, one question, one moment of recognition, to change everything. Michael Chen was invisible for 40 years, but his art was always there, waiting, hoping, believing that someday someone would see. And Emma did.